Hi everyone, Brad here, and in today's training, we're going to talk about resonating your mission and your principles and your purpose and vision to your team and to your customers, and how do we get that all out there now? So, in the last couple of trainings, we got crystal clear on what it is we're creating, the purpose behind everything, the why, the aim, where we're going, the how, which is the mission, how we're going to get there. And then we've got all these supporting principles that are going to support and create the boundaries of how we make decisions and contain the whole thing. And so all of this has been summarized by this point into a one-page purpose plan. And if you haven't done that, I would go back and do all that stuff before you come into this training, because this is all about how you can communicate all this now. How do we start resonating all this into the culture of the business so that everyone on the team is in alignment with what we're doing and how we're going to get there and all of that stuff. So at this point, we're just going to be covering how to communicate our vision, mission, principles, and the brand promises of your business. So once you know all of it, we got to get it out there. As I was showing in the last couple of videos, this is what mine looks like for my company, for our residential painting company and commercial painting company. It's all summarized here into one purpose, a one-page plan, right? It's stationed at the headquarters, or in my case, it's just on my desk sitting there. And this is the inner guide, right? This is the inner guide for where we're going as a company and how we're going to do it. There it is on my desk. That's where I'm sitting right now doing this video. Then we also have gotten clear on our brand promises. So these are the things that we promise to deliver to our customers. These are the things that differentiate us as a company. And what we've learned is very important to our customers. This is usually on your homepage and in all your marketing material. So these are our outer promises, the outer expression of what we're doing. With both of those being said, we need to get it into the company culture. So as we do that, we'll bring our team into union, and the right people will get on board and the wrong people will get off. They will get out of the company because it's not going to align as you start communicating this. So as you bring these principles to life, here are 8 ways that we're going to cover in this video how we can reinforce the company principles and the purpose throughout the company culture on a regular basis. So, starting for 1, storytelling. So, videos, newsletters, in person, right? We want to be communicating these, some of the stories of how the company started and how did these values come to be. And where did the original mission come from, and what was the original vision? So a lot of this time it'll be the founder's story or your story if you're the one who started the company. For me, I tell the story a lot of just I come from the painting industry. When I was very young, I was a painter, and that helped me through university, and I learned all about productivity systems and project planning, and it was a really fun time when I was a kid. And there's a lot of nostalgia in that. And I tell all sorts of stories and horror stories of my time in the home service industry. And there's a lot of ways you can communicate just through the storytelling. And that's kind of one of the funnest parts of culture building as well. It's almost like the hero stories. Another way we can communicate our values and our principles and our mission is through our recruitment and selection process. So, when you're hiring, one of the things you're definitely looking for are core values. And I like to really bring that into my interview and selection process. It becomes a big part of how I paint the picture of the job. So part of my interview process and the interview process that we teach is you need to paint the picture of what this thing is all about. And it's very difficult to paint a picture if you don't really know what your company is all about and where it's going and the future. And so you're interviewing, you can ask specific past examples where the candidate has demonstrated your core values or a time where they've been in resonance with these principles in their own life. And, I like to pay attention to the level of excitement that people are showing when I talk about these different values. You can see which principles are really standing out for them, right? And not everyone's going to be in full resonance with every single principle, but the more the better, right? People who are in resonance with the whole essence of the company. Another way that you can communicate the core values and the purpose and all of it is through the onboarding process. So a lot of companies kind of lack a proper onboarding for new employees, or for painters or for job site managers. And again, this is another great place to really instill the brand. So for us, our whole mission is to be the clear brand leader for professional painting services in the lower mainland of BC. So, this is, if you kind of see there in the background, that's one of my, that's a training week, right? We have our tent is there. Everyone's in uniforms. We have an educational week where we talk about everything from techniques to job site planning to customer service. And this is all instilling our core values and what we're creating and our mission of being the clear brand leader for professional painting services in our local region. So you can do it again through your onboarding process is a place where you can start resonating your principles and your value and your mission. Another place is through performance and appraisal. So the company's appraisal, reward, and recognition system should be built around linking to individual core values. So you want to organize the company playbooks into sections centered around each core value and the greater purpose. And I think a really easy way to promote your principles is to reward people based on fulfilling and being centered around the things that you want to reward, right? If I want to empower leaders and have people that are delivering on results, I want to have systems that reward you for that type of behavior, right? So you can easily build this into performance and appraisal and communicate your principles through that. Very similar, recognition and reward. Reward people financially and all other ways. Organize the recognition and rewards around the core principles and the core values. This is a really easy way to, and then you can also promote that through stories of people who have accomplished things, and then that can be spread through the organization as well. Newsletters. For me, I like to do a newsletter once every week or two to the entire team where we just talk. And I always start my newsletters with the wins. I report all the data, so all the information and the statistics based on everyone's deliverables for the business. And, if you want an easy way to really highlight any particular principle or part of the mission is to just focus on one thing. So you could have kind of themes for your newsletters. In this newsletter, we're really going to focus on, playing the long game. So just like how it takes time to build things, and we've installed some really important systems for our long-term growth, right? So that would be something I could theme in one of my newsletters. So that's an excellent way to communicate the company's principles. Very similar to what the last one is just choosing themes. So you can take a newsletter and pick one theme or two themes, but I think one is better. Just like one thing you wish to talk about for that week that you want everyone's attention on that's relevant for the timing of your season. One of the things I like about the painting industry is that it's very clear, the themes, right? From November until January 1st is business planning and strategic planning. That's the theme. So we really focus on that. And through that, we can talk about simplification of systems and putting in incremental improvements to our current systems. And that's a good time for celebrating all of our wins from the previous season. So that would be a theme, right? January until March, the theme is very sales oriented, right? So it's very much on taking ownership and thinking big again and just really getting the mind thinking. So we might focus the theme on that. And then obviously we get into production, and there's recruitment season, which is kind of March until April. And all this stuff can kind of move in themes. So you can figure that out for your own business based on what your principles are and when is the most appropriate time to talk about each thing. And then a final way that we can communicate our principles is just through everyday reinforcement. Talk about stuff. Talk about this stuff all the time. Talk about your core values. Talk about, all the principles. Talk about the mission. Talk about the vision all the time. This is what the leader's job is in so many ways. Is to talk about the mission, vision, purpose, and principles. So this step is probably the most important one, is just to do this on a daily basis. Get your guys talking about their vision and how they can participate and what they want, and get everyone dreaming and owning these different principles. So this is where the whole idea of living your values and living your mission comes into play. Is there's these companies that have missions and vision and values and everything, but nobody's really very clear about any of it, and nobody knows it off the top of their head. And then there's the companies that just live them, and that ends up just being from the top down. People, you got to talk about it and be really enthusiastic and inspired by this stuff. Otherwise, you probably shouldn't be on the team in the first place. The core values really just need to be a part of the company's DNA. So this is just a short video. All the legwork at this point is done. You've already really deeply thought about all your mission, your purpose, your principles, the vision of the company, where you're going. And now those are just a couple. There's 8 ways that you can start to express these different truths for your business out into the company, out to the customers. And that was kind of more internal, how you can share it within your team. And then obviously all of the brand promises need to be expressed externally, and that'll be your marketing efforts. But this is just a quick video to touch on how do we start expressing this into the DNA of the company, so that the right people are showing up and the wrong people are not getting in the door. So 2 action items that you can do right now is pick at least 2 of the above methods that you will commit to using from now on to communicate your mission, vision, principles, and the greater why of the business. Specifically, your why is the main thing you can talk about. And number 2 action item is send out a communication to your team this week that contributes to the company mission in a meaningful way. So really take the time to do this. You don't have to do everything at once. Start with one thing. Like, even if it's just a weekly newsletter, I think that's a really great way, is a weekly email to your whole team to get everyone on the same page and talk about the wins and the objectives for the week and the deliverables for the week, right? One of our values is deliver results, and we run our business by the numbers and we track key inputs, right? So delivering results. So on a weekly basis, I can just communicate the results and talk about the wins, who achieved the results. That's one way we can do it, through our newsletter. So figure out for yourself what is going to work for you and what you are consistently going to be able to do, and take action on at least 1 or 2 of these methods. That is it for this video, and that is also it for the entire purpose, vision, mission, and principles module and series. So hope you enjoyed it, and good luck with building the DNA of your company.